Hello everybody, this is Joshua from Turbanize, and in this very important video I will try to explain what VEG is about and how it came about and what it does to the users. I will try to explain the logic and the workings behind VEG by using an analogy of playing a video game. For example, playing, let's say, Super Mario versus Halo, the recent first shooter game. And of course, the experience is vastly different. Alright, so why did I invent this method? Why are we using this visualization method? I have been a learner of English grammar myself in the 90s in Korea. So I know what it is like to learn English grammar at school. And like I shared in the other videos, I really hoped that things would have changed. But while I was in UK for the better half of my life, during my teenage years and throughout 20s and 30s, I realized that what I had learned back home didn't really help me speak or write or do really anything in real English speaking environment. So I had to run it, I had to start from the scratch almost. It did help in some cases, but not really. And for those of you who've been abroad, will, I think, agree to this sentiment. And reason is clear. The way we teach grammar to our children is rather unkind. The explanation isn't enough. It's difficult to understand the concept because they're using difficult words and jargons, and they immediately jump into testing your knowledge, and those questions are designed to trick you, as if to say, haha, so you really didn't understand this. Maybe they do have a point for putting you through those multiple choice questions and try to probe and see if you really understood the concept or not. But I really don't think that helps. I think if our focus is to help our students, we really shouldn't waste our energy in evaluating them, but rather making them strong by strengthening their knowledge. And my beef is that we are not spending enough time doing that. We are not strengthening them enough. We are not encouraging them enough. We are not vigorously checking and seeing if they really understood the concept well. So it's like this. What I always had in mind while designing VEG is I wanted our users or my students to feel as if they're playing a very well-designed computer game. Alright, so what do I mean by this? You will remember retro games, all the retro games that you need to put your coins and you play it. If you make mistakes, you lose your life, and if you lose enough life, you die, game's over, and you can never get back to the stage where you are at. Very harsh, right? And very punishing. Of course, those type of games had its fun, it had its merits, it had its charm, but parents, if you had the chance to look at the games, of course there are those type of games that punish the players, but the game is different now. And the real game changer of the games came with a game called Halo. It's a Microsoft first shooter game, and it really changed the way I think about the games and the way I think about learning eventually. It's funny how you can make sense how playing games can actually influence you to design a grammar course, right? But here you go. Where Halo basically is different, vastly different from any other games, because the game is focused on giving players a really good experience. Every little detail is designed so that you will enjoy playing the game itself. You will be lost in their world, you will be lost in their storyline. And by going through these carefully designed campaigns, by the time you end the game, which you will always end, it's impossible that you die and never finish the game. You will eventually finish the game. And by the time you finished, you are a better player. Because why? Because you are so immersed in the game that you learn these techniques. Of course, like other games, you need to master certain techniques to be good at the game. And those techniques came naturally to you because it was very well designed that way. It was helping you to keep those difficult maneuvers as you progress with the game. And you never really died. If you got killed, you were resurrected again in the same setting. So there was no pressure. There was not much of a stress. It will take away your time, but that's about it. So you can see the difference. You can play the game and improve and spend money and get really stressed because you don't want to make mistakes. But there are other ways to do it. There are other ways to get good at the game. the learning experience can be also enjoyable too. And if the designer of the grammar lecture or the grammar learning process is clever and designed it so well that you learners will lose themselves in learning this, that will be the best outcome really for our students. And that's what I attempt to do. I hope this kind of makes sense. Those of you who played Halo before, I think it will be much easier to understand this analogy. So the way I designed VEG is very much focused on avoiding those pain points that I always felt as a student. Those pain points were the jargons, difficult concepts that I really couldn't get it. I couldn't really understand the Korean words that explaining the grammar rules. And I really didn't like the multiple choice questions that are designed to trick me. And by the end of learning certain concepts or rules, I couldn't really apply them. And I did my best to eliminate all those pain points. And how did I eliminate those? I replaced jargons, those linguistic jargons, with shapes. I avoided using linguistic terms and I used shapes because I believe shapes are excellent mediums really, and each shapes can represent important parts of the sentence and you can project your emotions to it. For example, subject looks like this man's head basically, because why? Because subjects are basically the main character of the sentence, isn't it? Hence this shape. So I try to eliminate jargons by using shapes. And for the grammar rules, we try to use shapes as well, and relationships, rules with each shapes. And by doing that, it was much easier to convey our message to the children. So even the 7-year-old can understand what is going on. And we want to make it that simple. And for explaining concepts, we use stories. And we make sure that our students at least memorize the story so that they can record it and apply them later. So we make sure that they recite the summary of the story that we taught, or at least memorizing the visual representation of the concept. We also have them draw the concept. As long as they're able to do that, they can move on to the next stage. And we use activities that are not designed to trick students but to strengthen their understanding. We celebrate mistakes. We don't punish the mistakes. Mistakes are evidences of a thinking process gone wrong, but we can always correct them. So we make sure that they make mistakes along the way so that they can check their understanding along the way. And finally, we vigorously check and see if they can apply and speak and write in a correct grammatical order in a fun way. It's not always exams. We use a lot of drawings and we use a lot of shapes that corresponds with the picture so they can spontaneously speak out or write about the situation that's given to them. So of course it's applicable because it's a situation based, because it's contextually structured, every little activities. So yes, our students are happy to apply them anytime. And this is why visualization method, our VEG textbook, really stands out. This was very rough introduction once again, very general introduction. I hope this video will at least get you curious about our method. Please come down to see us. We are doing our summer promotion now. Interestingly enough, we are getting a lot of inquiries from other parts of the region. Thank you for taking an interest in our approach. It is our aim that we go national or even international. Like I shared, we like to turn this into some sort of movement. So yes, please stay tuned. I will come back with more videos, with more evidences, and then also how we are progressing with our approaches. Thank you. Bye bye.